fine areto il sacro bosco sia di sgombro dai profani. Quando in lume irato il fosco chiega il sangue dei romani da druidico del lubro voci tonerà.
Good day everyone and welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music channel. I hope you're having fabulous holidays and I hope you're tuning in for some more wonderful programming from us. And I'm Anna Uspinskaya. I'll be hosting today's live program from our Music and Musicians Around the World show. In today's program we have a very special guest. We'll have Claire Stadtmueller. She's an opera singer and much more. And I'll be sure to ask some really hard questions like this one, for example. Does really opera still survive, or is it some kind of anachronism? But wait, stay tuned, and you'll hear her take on that. And as always, we are here connecting musicians and audiences from all different places in live music performances, music news, programs, discussions, and much more from around the globe. Throughout our seasons, we host dozens and dozens of events aimed at helping musicians get forward with their goals and helping the audiences to connect with artists on a much more personal level. And we invite musicians, performers, educators, publishers, media managers, artist managers, and many others who work in the connected and related fields to the performing arts. And we ask them to share their insights and to help everyone, musicians and everyone, navigate the modern and quite frankly, very confusing world of music. So today we're focusing on opera. God, doesn't that voice send absolutely shivers down your spine? And here today we have in our program Claire Stadtmueller, soprano, voiceover artist, actress, award-winning filmmaker, horse riding enthusiast, video maker, recording artist, environmental activist, co-founder of 5G3RI, whatever the hell that is, and a phenomenal person with incredible personal and family history. Welcome, Claire. It's such a great pleasure and honor to have you here. And I'm going to hear this amazing voice now speaking to me.
Well, thank you, Anna. I'm so happy to have the opportunity to speak with you and your audience, which you've developed in such a comprehensive way. My goodness.
This is the voice. I was just listening to this absolutely heavenly singing, and honestly, you sent shivers down my spine.
Thank you. It was a wonderful event, really, with the legendary Maestro Vincent La Selva outside in Central Park. And my very favorite, because I'm such an outdoorsy nature girl, my very favorite line in all of opera is when she sings, and here it was outdoors in nature, diedi il canto agli astri al ciel che ne riedono più belli. I gave my songs, and that's what we singers do. I gave my songs to the stars, to the heavens, that they would shine more beautifully. So that's my favorite line in all of opera.
That's beautiful. And the voice and the expression added to the words, it just makes it so personally connected to me, and I'm sure to a lot of audiences. Now, I have a question to you. We're focusing on the opera, and you are the opera singer, and you are the one who is giving in to all these words in the opera and this music. But we have much more spectacular shows with a lot more emotional impact, maybe. We have massive sports events. We have now all the film, and you can watch anything and everything in the world. Does really opera still survive? Or is it more like a cultural anachronism now, like similar to, living in the caves with the cell phone and remote garage opener? So,
well,
what's your take on it?
I feel very strongly about that. When I was living in Manhattan and riding the subway, I considered myself the opera ambassador of the number 1 train, because inevitably I was sitting with a score, and someone would ask, because for those of you who don't know New York, we do speak to one another a lot.
I attest to that. And we interrupt each other.
And so inevitably I'd have a score because I'm studying, and someone would ask, well, do you play the piano? No, I'm a singer. And then I would say, opera is for everyone. It's the human condition. And too many times people, because it's not part of our school system to educate people as it was earlier, people think opera is something rarefied, that we're in silks and satins and we go la la and we sing about something that's not connected. But for sometimes I lure people with saying, it's just sex and violence, which...
Well, it's not true. It's not only sex and violence.
No, but
I'm kidding.
Considering my audience, I use what will pique the interest of my audience. So Tosca, for example, of course, there's much... self-sacrifice, one man for another, for his friend. He dies in order to hide his friend who's a political refugee. So there's much sacrifice, but there's also a whole lot of love and romance and violence. Think of Carmen, I get stabbed on stage all the time, or do the stabbing myself. And
that's right.
But it's the important thing is it's the human condition. It's all those things of courage, of love, of deep friendship. And also, there are new operas written, of course, like Dr. Atomic, written about Oppenheimer and the atomic bomb. So there are new operas written.
Of course, opera dives into this, to me, incredible combination of timeless stories and timeless, well, maybe some stories could be kind of old, but the timeless topics of those stories. But what do you think when I listen to you sing? What speaks to me the most, maybe not even the story, not even the plot, not even the the timeless conflict and all that. It's this permission for you as a woman to express the deepest feelings which we all feel when those events unfold. It's almost like in a normal life we are allowed to say, oh, I'm really upset, but in the opera you can scream it.
Yes, and that is why it's so important for audiences. I knew a woman who said she never cared for opera until after her husband died. And then suddenly all that extreme emotion had meaning for her. And so we as opera singers and as musicians, but we as opera singers, we are catalyzing for audience who every day they're on their computer and they might be, have a nice day, that perfunctory at the checkout counter.
I'm so sorry, we got a comment, and I would like your response, because we really love when people engage with our program. And thank you, Deborah, for watching and for commenting. And Claire, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can you please respond to
Well, yes, because Debbie is a dear friend of mine, and she's also one of the environmental activists, and we've lobbied the same bill on Capitol Hill. So Debbie's
oh my gosh, we have to dive into that. You lobbying, you're opera singer. Okay, I'm going to be asking many questions about it. Back to what you were saying.
Well, we catalyze for people who might be living, have emotions, but it's done on a grand way. And it really, the best compliments I've had have been as a performer when someone said, I've seen that opera, Madame Butterfly, dozens of times, but this is the first time I wept. And also my greatest compliment was when I and Bellini made a grown cop cry. I was singing at his request and I play piano very badly, a simple Bellini song, a simple Bellini song. I doubt that. And when I turned, here is this cop in all this cop regalia with tears running down his face. And that is the greatest compliment a musician and a singer can have, is to move someone. Yes.
Yeah, and it's also permission for people to really feel and be free to be seen with rich feelings, so that we are not always encast in our outfits, our attires, our professional presence, but we are able and allowed to be just humans.
Yes, and these composers are such masters, and Puccini so understood women's hearts, and Schubert, for example. How was Schubert at, I believe, 16 years old, able to understand how a woman, when her lover has left her, in the case of Marguerite, Gretchen am Spinnrad, that going over and over in the mind, that wheel spinning of why did he leave me? How did Schubert know that? So these composers were geniuses and psychologists, that they knew these things.
They may not have known the word psychologist, but they were truly insightful. And yeah, that's wonderful. Now, as an opera singer, of course, you have vast repertoire, and you performed many operas on many different stages. And in our previous conversations and email exchanges, you mentioned that people consider your Salome, your truly uniquely your best suited role. Tell me a little bit about the Salome and your experience with it.
Well, yes, that's the reaction I get when I sing various things for a conductor. They'll inevitably say, Salome's your best role. And I always joke, I won't tell any date that on a first date.
Oh, no! Given the story behind it.
Because John the Baptist, of course, it's a story from the Bible. Oscar Wilde's treatment of it with Richard Strauss is what I sing. But also Massenet wrote a different setting of it on the Flaubert, which people might be familiar with from the Rita Hayworth film, in which she dances the most wonderful dance of the seven veils. But in that case, it's not Salome, it's Oscar Wilde Richard Strauss, where it's Salome who needs his head on a silver platter because she's been rejected. And yes, it's depravity, but I understand. I mean, she was living in this terrible household of debauchery and Herod, and he was lusting after her, and she's just a young girl. So psychologically, she was very confused, and but it results in beautiful depravity because Strauss, and here's where the genius is, because it's not just gratuitous violence, ugly. Somehow Strauss is able to make it intellectually viable and interesting and beautiful at the same time. So I think the very last words of Salome are the words of a person who finally gets what she wants. And yes, what she wanted was depraved and insane. But it was to be, she says so many times in that final scene, hättest du mich angesehen, du hättest mich geliebt. If you had seen me, you would have loved me. And that's what we all want. There's the human condition again. That's what we all want, to be seen, to be heard, to be loved. And when we're not, look what hell breaks loose.
Exactly, absolutely. Well, we have a short excerpt. Unfortunately, we can't show the whole scene. It's huge. A short excerpt from that scene with you singing in there. And I know that you're one of those courageous actresses and opera singers who actually follow the script with a costume in there. I'm not going to reveal anything. We'll talk about that after we watch this little gorgeous excerpt of you singing.
Ich habe ihn geküsst.
That's an incredible recording of your Salome. It feels like you never took one breath.
Well, we didn't actually. It was all in one take.
No, I mean literally, like you were singing the entire scene on one breath. It just keeps developing, developing, developing. And what a fabulous picture of you in the seventh veil.
Yeah. A friend of mine is a very renowned photographer, Peter Fried, and it's an excellent photo. We did it in the forest. And I liken that, singing that towards the end, it's what a freight train might feel like. I feel like a freight train.
Absolutely. It just keeps you captivated to that singing, to that climax of this absolutely emotionally charged aria. I mean, the scene. Unbelievable. I'm sorry, but I think this is definitely your composer and your character.
Yes.
Maybe there are many others, but this one definitely is.
So you agree? It's unanimous.
Yes.
Which, I'm really a very nice girl.
Not bloodthirsty. Well, you didn't grow up in a heritage household, but your family is quite a story. Please tell us how did you come to be fluent in so many languages and fluent in so many cultures?
Actually, unfortunately, leider, mein Vater hat bei uns kein deutsche Wort gesprochen. My father, born in Germany, Ludwig Adam Stadtmueller, he didn't. That was in the day when people were trying to be American, and he emigrated through Ellis Island from Germany. And I had to learn the hard way with Frau Reutlinger at New England Conservatory. But my father was a blacksmith, a farrier, a horseshoer, a steeplechase jockey. We raised racehorses. So my childhood was in a saddle or with a pitchfork in my hand. And then I decided to go to conservatory, which was quite a culture shock because it was in Boston, New England Conservatory, not one blade of grass. So you take a country girl into the city, but that total immersion in music with such wonderful musicians was fantastic. So yeah, but now I'm back in the saddle again because I have access. Family members rescued a racehorse who needed rescuing. So now I'm back in the saddle.
I know, that's fabulous. I envy you. I live in Washington, D.C. suburbs, so we don't have, I mean, you can go horse riding, and occasionally I do, but it's not like you can just walk out of your house, pet your wonderful horse, and just go having fun together. And it's an amazing and incredible thing what you do, and you stay so fit. This is also a great message. Singers don't need to gain a lot of weight. You can sound as gorgeous as you sound and stay fit and do many other things as well. And you are also a filmmaker. Now tell us about that.
Well, I didn't ever aspire to be a filmmaker, and but I had a message to say. And I lost, and music to make, and I lost access to the stage because concert halls, churches were shut down. So I couldn't sing anywhere. And as we musicians know, when we can't share our music, we can't make music together, and we can't share it with an audience, it very much felt like an amputation. And so I made films.
Incredible. So you channeled your desperation into an award-winning film. As a person who never was a filmmaker before, never even aspired to be one, and your film, The Eben, won numerous awards. And that's your, first ever endeavor in filmmaking?
Yes. The first one was less message, subtle message, and I had no participation in what the scenes would be. The filmmakers, they decided that. I just chose the piece in Haven. But this Eben was my message from La Wally, and in it she's banished because she won't marry. She's banished from home because she won't marry the man her father wants. In this case, it was banishment from our home, the stage. That's our home. And so a filmmaker said he'd like to make a film. So I said, this is it. And I will say that when I fall down in the snow, it was not acting, it was true. It was very deep snow. And so I had something to say, and I said it. And the most gratifying part is that people have written to me on YouTube, you spoke for me. And that's going to make me cry right here. But they said, thank you, you spoke for me. So,
yeah, that was a very tough time for everyone, and I want to draw everyone's attention to Claire's YouTube channels, where you can see more. In this very short program, we can only show snippets, just a peek preview into vast and rich libraries which she has, recordings, films, and lots of other artistic and cultural output. Please visit her YouTube channel right there, and visit her websites, sweetpeacemusic.com and many others. Ante will be showing those to you. Copy them, click on them, and you will be able to immerse yourself more into Claire's artistry, her CD, and her other films and recordings. This is the artist which I would like to urge you all to explore a lot more. Well, let's see the Eben. What a beautiful singing, gorgeous scenes. You're not just I don't want to say just an opera singer. You're an opera singer and an actress and a messenger. And what an incredibly rich output.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that was a new endeavor. Thank you.
In new endeavor, which you took on as like a pro. I must say, absolutely. And you are in so many new endeavors. And one of them is you're an environmental activist. And although I feel strongly about environment, I've never done activism. And you're also, I wanted to ask you about this. You're a co-founder of 5G Free RI. This is, I'm sorry, Island. This is a super abbreviation, letters to me. You gotta unfold that and tell us what this is.
In early 2020, I and my co-founder, Sheila Ressiger, who's probably listening now, we co-founded 5G Free Rhode Island. I was living there.
Oh, then. So RI is Rhode Island. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I moved almost exactly a year ago to Connecticut nearby, and where I'm also active in that regard. But 5G Free Rhode Island, because people aren't aware that microwave radiation is pollution. They focus on carbon, carbon, carbon. Microwave radiation is pollution. It's xenobiotic, meaning contrary to life. Bees are more fragile than I am. Children have thinner skulls. And we're in this electrosmog of ever increasing. 4G is bad too. All the G's. It's microwave radiation. And so we wanted to bring awareness of that to everyone who lives, and also to the elected officials who make decisions, who just hear things like faster downloads, faster downloads. I'm Ethernet cabled here to a non-Wi-Fi medium, and all is well, right? We have technology here.
That's right. And you're one of the more technologically equipped guests. We've had thousands of guests on our programs, and you're like boom, boom, boom. You know what you're doing, and you're a musician.
Yes. It doesn't mean we're Luddites. And amongst the musicians, I will say, I think it's because we musicians understand and have an awareness of beauty. And want to preserve beauty, and beauty is nature, nature is beauty. And the other assault on us are the geoengineering, the sprays in the sky that people falsely think, those aren't from commuter planes taking people to Florida for the winter. Those are actually to block out the sun against climate change. Sounds like it'll block out photosynthesis for our food as well. But I lobbied a bill in Rhode Island at the State House that would protect us from that. And people can become involved if they go to the websites that will be provided to find out more about the science behind it.
And here are the websites right there.
Yes, thank you. So all the science you would ever want to know is at that website, and also how you too can get involved on the level at your state.
I have a question for you. We live in a society which is, of course, trying to learn from the previous history and never does, and all of that. And there's a lot of biases which we all address and try to, improve, but they never go away. And one of those biases is that opera divas, you're an opera diva, after all, have quite limited interest in the rest of their life, other than singing, luxury, beauty on stage, and self-expression. How are you as a woman and a singer being perceived when you're lobbying with lawmakers for something like environmental care?
Sometimes perhaps they don't know, but I have chastised my city council when I lived in Rhode Island, because when they were non-responsive, I finally said, and this was, on state TV, I said, I am an opera singer. I do not enjoy reading about microwave radiation. I'd rather listen to an opera, study. I'd rather do that. But I do this to protect us from the harm of microwave radiation, and you, elected official, from liability. Take note. And
that's a good one. That's right. Take notes.
So no, I don't enjoy reading about microwave radiation, and I don't enjoy having to find out all these strategies. I'm in meetings for 2 hours on strategies so that our elected officials pay attention. I don't enjoy it, but I do it because I like preservation. I love nature.
And as you said, nature is beauty, and anyone who chooses a very thorough-nosed career of a musician, let alone opera singer, of course, is feeling very strongly about beauty
and
dedicating
nature.
entire professional life to preservation, development, and to expression of beauty. Of course, that's a very strong emotional connection for you. I totally understand. I'm a pianist. And you, tell me please a little bit more about the next short film which we want to show. You were involved in that film, of course, as an opera singer, but as what else?
Well, in this one, I had a cameraman holding the camera, but I had to. Ben, the filmmaker, actually had some experience, but in this case, I was chief bottle washer, except for holding the camera.
Chief bottle washer.
So I had to decide, stand there with the computer and say, "Oh, we take this segment and we glue it to that segment." So.
Oh, so you were involved in actual editing of the film?
Oh, yes, I had to be because
Amazing.
the gentleman who did it had no rhythm and is colorblind and tone deaf, so I had to do all of that. So, for better or for worse, it at least brings the message across of we need to preserve nature, we need to pay attention to these sources of pollution that people, they're on a lag. They don't realize that, these are sources of pollution, the stripes in the sky and the electrosmog. So that was my purpose.
Let's see this beautiful message. That's so powerful. Thank you for creating this film and for your voice, for the emotion and for the meaningful message in there.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. And we have, I think, quite a few comments in here coming in from our viewers. And thank you so much for joining us, for commenting, for providing your support and the feel for both of us, as there are people behind that screen, behind the camera, shining at us. And those are the people we want very much to connect, and we would like you to be part of our programs. So please comment, feel free to express yourself. We'll bring it on stage, on the screen, for our guests to be able to respond and relate to that. Thank you for your comments. We're coming to almost to the end of our program and running over a little bit, but I still want to ask Claire, with all this very meaningfully charged relationship with your life and with the society and with music, with beauty, with nature, what are your plans? What's your deepest heart desire to do next?
This world needs a requiem for war. We need to put war to bed. And so let's perform a Britain's war requiem. Let's put war to bed. And so that would be my dearest wish, to perform that. And also the next film I make will be on Beethoven is my personal hero and his Fidelio. I just sobbed and sobbed when the sun came out and the prisoners came and saw the sun for the first time. So my next film will be Abscheulicher of Beethoven's Fidelio, in which it's courage and love that overcomes tyranny. And there are too many people in this world who are falsely imprisoned, and they must be released. So that will be my next message.
Amazing. Claire, you're really doing justice to music, to channel its emotional and cultural power towards betterment of our society and our life. That's really wonderful. And many musicians, I'm sure, who are watching here, considering, maybe my next recital can have that aspect to it as well.
Yep. Music has served us, and it was created out of the need for composers. I have a sister who's a composer, a brilliant jazz composer. In fact, I'll put her name in the chat, and she writes music about 5G and things like that as well, in addition to her jazz. So that's the goal of that's my goal.
Wonderful. And please don't leave. We have a quick announcement which I need to make, because we have some deadlines coming up. The next we have just in a few days. I know everyone is in the middle of the holidays. Enjoy the holidays, but don't forget their long-term plans, which need some signing up. So the call orchestra auditions deadlines to sign up is January 1st, and those are auditions for musicians, instrumentalists and vocalists. Of course, no age restrictions, no other restrictions. So this is for people who are aspiring to perform with symphony orchestras around the world. Sign up for those auditions. There's still a few days left. And let's just see a short announcement of what those auditions are about and which orchestras are participating.
Cold Orchestra is back.
Our new season of auditions for classical musicians is now available. Performance opportunities for students, young professionals, and seasoned artists.
Perform a concerto with orchestras around the world. We have 4 orchestras this season. Perform with orchestras throughout the US, Czechia, and Egypt. New this season, opportunities for composers to have their orchestral works recorded by the Boulder Symphony Orchestra, mastered and distributed on the world's most known music streaming platforms.
Audition live from the comfort of your own home. Get live evaluations from expert judges and expand your online presence through our international internet broadcasts. Additional award and performance opportunities are also available. Visit our website for full details. Don't miss out on these wonderful opportunities to advance as a musician and perform on a world-renowned stage. We look forward to hearing your performances.
And yes, I want to repeat again, if you are interested to audition, during the auditions, you'll meet the music directors of those orchestras, you'll hear their comments, and if you're selected, then you will travel to all those different countries to perform with the orchestras. Deadline, January 1, 2024, just around the corner. So put it on, and good thing is you don't have to record anything during the holidays. Just dig out one of your best videos and send it for the pre-screening. And then after, if you're invited for the live audition, then you will need to prepare your concerto or aria which you intend to perform. And Claire warmed my heart by saying that Beethoven is her hero. Beethoven is mine too. And that brings me, I would like to invite you to join us for our regular presentations of Beethoven symphonies. Our team of virtual concert halls, together with architects of music, produced the films dedicated to Beethoven symphonies, Magnificent 9, and we are presenting them in chapters with a commentary by myself and Chris Au on every Thursday and at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard, and every Sunday at 12 noon Eastern Standard. Tune in, and if you miss it, no big deal. Just go to one of our channels and you will be able to see the replays. They're all available. If you love YouTube, then go to YouTube and click on live, because these are our live programs, and you'll see the whole series of Beethoven, and you'll see other series. You can visit our playlists. You can find us on all major platforms, whatever your preference is: YouTube, LinkedIn, Vimeo, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and many other platforms, as well as social media platforms. And we are also on music dedicated platforms in different countries, such as Maestro Online and Cicciaroni Music and Arts, and many others. So you just Google virtual concert halls or Sound Espressivo, progressive musicians. You will see a lot of our programs, and you'll find short form, long form, whatever interests you more, or interviews like today's one with the fabulous opera singer. Claire is just amazing, and we have guests like that quite regularly on our daily music and musicians from around the world program. And I want to thank our wonderful partners. We started with just a few, and over the years, so many people, so many organizations from so many countries are joining our efforts and helping us with their expertise, with their love, with their resources. You see the screen is now full of those logos, which we are really feeling bad about making them so small, but we want to present everyone, and our many, many thanks to all those wonderful organizations, and especially to people, because organizations can be all flashy and beautiful, but it only matters as much as the people who run them and what they use their abilities and powers to do towards. And they are helping us bring all this music and all those wonderful musicians from around the world to your attention, so that you can meet them and improve your life. And thanks a lot to wonderful Virtual Concert Hall's team. It's the team of professional musicians who acquired other professional skills and fields. And thank you guys, you're fabulous. Many of you are pianists, composers, string players, singers, and everyone. And by your magic hands, all these programs and films happen. And I want to bring Claire back on for a final message. Claire, thank you for staying with us through all this advertisement, a little bit of pause. And if you have like something you want to say before we sign off and say goodbye to everyone.
Well, I would say everyone needs to join Anna very regularly, because I cannot believe how comprehensive this is. And I will share this with already have, of course, but with all my music lover friends, because this is amazing what you do. I'm so impressed, and I'm so grateful to have been on this platform, really, and to be able to say everything I could share with your audience, with my audience, and the tech is amazing and your collages are amazing. So I am very grateful for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. And please support us. You don't need to send us any money. Just support us by bringing more people. We're a large and growing community. And thank you for commenting. Please, we want that feedback. We want your energy back. This helps us. This makes us motivated to keep going. So we're not asking for any money. We're asking just for you to share it with people if you feel this may help them in any way with their lives. And as I said, we are on live every day. And Claire, thank you so much for being such a wonderful guest, for sharing yourself so generously and so powerfully. And I hope our collaboration grows and continues, and you will join our family of artists and everyone for a long time ahead.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Ciao.
Thanks a lot. Ciao. Ante, thank you for great work behind the scenes for directing this show. Bye, everyone.